For some reason, God stopped doing miracles when we had cameras in everybody's pocket. Oh boy. Hey everybody, Timmy Gibson here, former fundamental evangelical Bible thumping tongue talking Holy Ghost rolling, woo, pastor. Did that for 30 years, spent 48 years as a Christian. You know, I was thinking about this video and I thought, I can't, this is not an original thought. I either heard it somewhere or someone said it, and it might have been my buddy Kyle. And he said, isn't it funny how God doesn't do the miracles anymore now that we all have cameras in our pocket? And I thought, that's true, right? Now that we can document it, like with video proof, it would be so easy to prove that God still, AKA answers prayer or does miracles or the hand of God moves in special miraculous ways. No, that stuff all happened 2,000 years ago, and maybe a few other times when no one had any camera to film it. And yet Christians still by the millions believe that God's still moving. I remember when I was a pastor, I would say that from the pulpit. God's still moving in the earth today. Invite him in and he'll do miraculous things in your life. No, that's just absolutely, clearly not true. Here's what I would say. If God was still moving on the earth today, then there would be evidence of it. Honestly, it's kind of a shame that I even am doing a video about this to cover this. Like that people are still believing in things without a shred of evidence, no proof, no forensics, no science to back it up and go, yeah, you know what? We got it on video. This dude walking across this lake, and then he said, God gave me the power to walk on water. That just happened, Jesus did that, right? 2,000 years ago. No one. And interestingly enough, that would be such a cool thing. I have mentioned this in other videos that are in another video, I think, that I actually attempted to walk on water so many times on camera. And, I wish I would have kept that footage. It'd have been great to show this. But genuinely, I know that sounds just ridiculous, but it's true. Like, I literally tried so many times to walk on water. I prayed, I fasted, I did, all the things to make sure that I was of pure heart, like King David. Had a heart after God, Like, I really tried to prep myself to be able to do this, because I thought, like, this is going to prove to the world, like, God is very much present in our world today. Look, this dude in Kansas City, he be walking on the water. Anyway, I know that's just nuts, but I really believed it at the time. I had faith for it, all the things. And as soon as I stepped in that water, I sank to the bottom every time. There wasn't even like a half split second where I, like Peter. Was it Peter? I think the story is Peter says, if that's you, Jesus, like, bid me to come. And he started walking on the water until he saw that he's walking on water. And then doubt came in and he started to sink. But before he sank all the way, Jesus reached out his hand, lifted him up. It's a fantastic story. I used to preach on that story all the time. But, no one has ever duplicated that. No one's ever done that. There's been no miracles whatsoever. Now, there's been miracles in the sense of things that science couldn't explain. Someone that had a tumor that was on an x-ray, and then they go back to the doctor, and then that tumor is gone. Yes, that's totally within the realm of possibility. That happens, even to atheists. That's God trying to reach an atheist, trying to do a miracle to prove. No, it's not, clearly. But I mean, I just like cuss and discuss down below, tell of your own experience and your own story and what you think that's all about. But I do find it so strange that, one, this would be the perfect time for God to show up and do some miraculous things. Like, it really would, right? Like, because I think I would, even as an atheist, I would be like, that's curious. You know what I mean? Like, it would cause me pause. It would definitely make me rethink my life. If I'd seen a bunch of miracles happen amongst Christians, Christians just getting healed left and right, and not from like toothaches and tummy aches and headaches and muscle cramps. God healed me. I thought you took an Advil. Well, I mean, God healed me before the Advil took effect. So it was clearly God, right? I mean, I think it would be quite spectacular. I think it'd be quite the witness to Jesus being real and God being real, that he's still moving in the earth today. But you don't see it, right? You don't see it. You just hear about some people saying some stuff from 2,000 years ago, which, clearly they didn't see it either. None of that stuff happened. Like the title of this video, which I'm not sure exactly what I'll title it, but God stopped doing miracles. The truth is, God never was doing the miracles, right? No one actually ever saw a bona fide miracle. I just had a conversation with a Christian the other day, and he had heard I was atheist, and so he was asking me some questions, and he literally said, well, what about the miracles? What about people that, one leg was shorter than the other, and then the leg grew out? Okay, that's never happened. Okay, that has never happened. No, I saw it. Okay, we've all seen lots of crazy things. Okay, I've seen magic tricks that just blew my mind, and I could not figure it out. Even when some other magician explained the trick, I still couldn't see it. It was just so good. Nobody's growing a leg to match the other leg. Those have been 100% proven trickery. You just pull the heel out on someone's shoe a little bit. I mean, I forget the dude's name. There's some scam artist preacher guy. He has dreads and he's a buffoon, but I forget his name now. And he was just known for that was his trick. That was his magic trick, his sleight of hand, pulling someone's hip, pulling someone's leg a little bit, and then pulling the heel of their shoe and say, whoa, God's growing the leg right here. See, it's on video. Do we look that stupid? Like, do we look like complete morons that we're going to be like, yes, praise the Lord, he's doing it again? Guys, it's just not true. And let me just say, if it was true, okay, if God was really performing miracles today, somebody would catch it on camera, right? Like, somebody would catch it on camera, and it wouldn't just be somebody. It would be like a lot of people would catch it on camera because it'd just be so fantastic. And not only that, take me back to my evangelical Bible thumping days when I was a pastor, if I was literally able to do miracles with the power of God, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd have been calling all the news stations saying, hey, come on over to my church. Like, the power of God is real and it's doing some really cool stuff. And we want to get this on film because we want the message of God to spread around the world. We want to be a witness to the power of God. But you don't see that at all. Like, no, you just don't. And I'm just going to tell you right now, pastors, we an egotistical bunch. Okay? There's no doubt about it. Pastors, not all pastors, but most of them, but not all of them, would love nothing more than their church of whatever size it is to become mega. And most every pastor I knew, this, I've told you my story. I wanted to be the next Joel Osteen, but with long hair and tattoos. I've said that many times, and that's true. I really wanted to be a famous preacher. So if I really was able to do any kind of miracles, I'm telling you right now, for sure, I would have got it on tape. I'd have filmed that magic trick, and I'd be telling everybody about it. I'd be calling all the scientists all around the world going, hey, listen, man, I got some power working through me from God. I want you to see this stuff. It's awesome. So that's not happening, right, at all. It's just not happening. Anyway, cuss and discuss miracles that you thought maybe you saw. And, if you're a Christian and you want to share your story of how God worked a miracle, got you a front row parking space on Christmas Eve to get into the mall to buy a gift, I find that funny too. I've heard so many stories, and I've believed them. I believed them all back in the day. I wanted a certain gift for my child, and I prayed. And after I went to 4 stores that didn't have it, I prayed that God would get me that gift. And then I went to one more store, and there it was on the shelf. Ooh, just God brought it to me. Here, I saved this gift on the store at Toys R Us just for you, my child. Give it to your kid and tell him that Jesus brought you this gift. Or Santa. Depends on the age, right? When you stop believing in that stuff. Anyway, cuss and discuss down below. Like, subscribe, share, do all the stuff. I appreciate it. And I do have a Facebook group called Timmy's Deconstruction Community. It's fun, man. I'm just going to tell you, it's fun. It's for atheists, agnostics, those going through the deconstruction process. You've left religion to find freedom, to be a real human and not believe in fanciful fiction. It's great. It's so much fun. Anyway, hope you join it. Hope I can meet you in there. Peace, everybody.